Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Do you drink this every day?
Every morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, apartment. Good morning, doorway. Morning wall, morning ceiling. Good morning, floor. Ready to start the day.
You're listening to the Morning App on 90.5 WASU.
Good morning, everyone. Today is April 17th. It is a Friday. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Oh,
and welcome back to another stay-at-home live stream of the Morning App. This is the voice of Andrew from App TV, behind the scenes as usual. And we have our usual host, Kiera. Justin may come in a little late, but that's okay. But we have two returning guests to the Morning App. We have Scott Spickard and Philip Lingafelt.
Woo!
Yeah, it's great to be here.
There they are.
Yeah, I had a feeling I had to give you the option to show your faces, but yep, we're here.
Great to be here. This is a first.
Yeah.
How do you feel to be on the Morning App this morning?
I feel good. 11. I never thought I would ever be on the Morning App at 11 a.m.
Hard to believe, huh?
I know, right?
Right now. So.
But unusual circumstances have brought us here. But it's good to be here, though.
It is. Yeah. Kiera's been holding down the fort. So we're letting her take the lead. No pressure, Kiera, on coming up with topics for us to talk about today.
Oh, yeah. No pressure at all. Listen, I'm
just joking, of course.
First of all, I would like to say, Phil, that you look like you remind me of who is it? Prison Mike from
Yeah, that's been going around. So I shaved my head. I'm not going to take the bandana off because I've worked really hard to put it on like this.
That's funny.
A week and a half ago, and so I've been rocking a bandana, and my mom calls me Prison Mike because we're big Office fans. If only the bandana was purple, that would be
I know.
perfect. Didn't have purple in
Halloween costume though, like
October,
you can just put the bandana on and be like, I'm Prison Mike.
Yeah, put on that suit.
Yeah.
On that suit, yeah.
Yeah.
That would be funny. Okay, so right before we came into the show, you guys mentioned something about the phases of reopening government or the the world.
The economy.
So what's up with that?
Yeah, so I was on a run during the beginning of the the White House press briefing yesterday, but I came back and saw the tail end of it, so I'm not super basically the president and the task force and everything brought forth this idea of opening, like steadily and slowly reopening the economies of like individual states and potentially whole areas that are less affected by the coronavirus. And so each phase kind of set out different parameters of how the economy would reopen and what needs to be going on with the coronavirus in those particular areas and everything. And so I might not be explaining this exactly right, but from my understanding, if a state like Wyoming, I'm guessing that their coronavirus is pretty low comparatively to like a New York or a California or New Jersey. And so a state like that should not have the same, according to this plan, it shouldn't have the same restrictions to the economy as a New York or New Jersey. So basically, President Trump is giving like the states, reversing what he said earlier in the week, giving the states and the governors like basically all the power to open their economies based on the criteria that were given for each like phase. And so yeah, I think I haven't looked at the news yet this morning, but I think a few states and even regions, like I think the Midwest maybe, where the coronavirus isn't as prevalent, I think they're starting to reopen things even today.
Yeah. It's really interesting because it is so different on a state by state level. And it's
Right.
basically the 3 phases are essentially just the process. You kind of, each phase is a check mark, is what they said.
Right.
Of you can start, first of all, you have to like get to that check mark to even start the phases. And that check mark is like 14 days of consistent downward trajectory of cases and hospitalizations, etc., in your state to be
Interesting.
start the process kind of phase 1, where people can, it's phase 1, I think is, in my understanding, is pretty similar to what's going on now, where it's definitely like your social distancing. Some people can start to think about going to work, but it's very similar to what it is now. And then you have to do that for like a certain amount of time and prove that the cases are still going down, and then you can go to phase 2. But it's interesting because one of the people in the room asked a question saying, so, because some states like Wyoming, as you mentioned, are already kind of at the check mark for to start phase 1, like, can they start tomorrow? That's what they asked. And President Trump said yes. And so it's really interesting to see as this gets going. Like, yeah, I mean, there are a few states that have really not been impacted very much, or at least comparatively. And so it'll be really, really interesting just to follow it and see if this works, and if they're being really cautious about it, in the sense of if there is another, if something turns, they're going to pull back immediately. If it comes back in any way, then it's like that's what they're trying to avoid.
Yeah.
So it's just trying to walk a fine line, and I think it makes sense that states are in different boats, but
totally.
So
interesting.
I think the key thing there that Scott, you mentioned was just if there's a resurgence of the virus, like with the phase 1, 2, or 3 or whatever, if they start opening up and there's a resurgence in it, there's like a key clause that says like you got to go back to, you got to go back a phase or go back to more social distancing and stuff. But I was surprised to see that all of that came out yesterday. Like I was expecting.
Yeah, it's not even March yet. I don't know.
May, not even May.
I figured nothing would happen. Yeah, nothing would happen until at least May. But, I mean, I meant May. Yeah, I said March.
Yeah. Okay.
But you know what I meant.
Yeah.
So are they still restricting travel to other states? Like, how can they regulate that? You know what I mean?
That's a good point, because
what if they just leave?
Yeah, somebody from California could drive to Montana, or something. That's a really far drive.
Yeah.
But
somebody could be like, oh, well, there's restaurants in Wyoming open. Why don't we just go there and stay there? And then they bring it. Yeah,
they're still recommending people wear like masks when they go outside for that reason, and to stay like physically separate from people, and that way that you can avoid that potentially. But my hope is that because it came, like they had that press briefing yesterday, and it, in a way, a lot of it felt like it was a celebration, or like a look what we've accomplished, and now we're able to start doing these things and taking steps. That I hope people don't take that as like, okay, so we can start hanging out with friends again, and we can start doing things that we haven't been able to do, because that's not really what it was about, even though it kind of felt that way on some level. So I'm really curious to see what will happen, because like for me, I'm in Raleigh right now, And Boone, Watauga County, has 8 cases, and they've had 8 cases since April 8th, I believe.
Yeah.
Reported case, which is 9 days ago, and that's pretty significant. With as these last couple weeks have been really crucial.
Right.
And so, what does that mean for Watauga County?
Yeah.
Are people going to start? I don't really know what's going on there, anyways, because I'm not there.
Yeah, there's not much going on.
Yeah, it'll be interesting though, because they mentioned like not only are states gonna handle it differently, but some counties like could handle.
That's what I was gonna ask, like, because I know that being in Watauga County is significantly different than being in like Wake County or Mecklenburg County.
Absolutely.
Because there's like 300, 400 cases in Charlotte, whereas here, like you said, there's only 8. And I'm not saying that means we're like more free to do things here. Like we still need to take the same precautions, but it is interesting. Like I feel like Watauga County could like somehow open up slowly, but before other counties in North Carolina. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's tough because so many students go to App who are from Raleigh and Charlotte, and I really want to go to Boone. My apartment's there.
Yeah.
And I might, and if I do, like I would be super cautious and not.
Right.
I would stay inside it. But there would also probably be a lot of people that it's like, oh my gosh, Watauga County's open. Let's go.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it's just like, man, we're partying. People are just hanging out on the parkway.
Right.
And so we'll see. It'll be interesting. Phil, were you gonna say something?
I heard that the parkway closed like parts of it down.
Really?
Just because, yeah, I was talking to one of my friends yesterday and he said that. Is that true?
Yeah, I honestly haven't been to the parkway in a while just because like the last time I was there was like mid-March because I was thinking like, oh, nobody's in Boone, I'll be able to hike. But no, everybody is going to the parkway, like everyone.
Yeah.
And when you're on the trails, it's like you only have like a 1 foot area to like pass somebody, So yeah, they haven't been closing down everything. Like I think the overlooks and stuff are still open, so you can stay in your car.
Right.
They're just blocking off like some of the road. Like they've just signs up, and they're like, yeah, don't come here.
Wow.
Yeah. We've been talking.
Anyway,
Scott
too.
talked about at some point, like, because there's a lake near my house that like is a trail around it, and like I usually will go run around that lake because it's walking distance, running distance from where my house is.
Yeah.
And so Scott and I were just talking about just the potential of like the government just shutting down those those parks because like it was not like safe for people because literally it's a 2-mile loop around it. And like on the weekends, especially in like after 5 on the weekdays, it is so packed. Like there's it's like the same as passing somebody on a trail,
Right.
It's very close quarters. And yeah, so I mean, but it's also the line between like that's really like that's the only thing that people can do, is walk around.
Right. It's like how much of the outdoors can you just like shut down? You know what I mean? I don't know.
But
the last time I was on the parkway was in late February, I guess, before spring break. And this was kind of after it had snowed recently, but it was a day or two after, and it was warm that day. So, everyone's trying to go to the parkway, but it's kind of sketch because it recently snowed. And so it was closed. The parkway was closed, but a bunch of people, I was with my friend, and I can't remember where we were when we turned on to the parkway, but there were just a bunch of cars that were parked before the closed gate. and they went walking from somewhere. Anyway, before we turned around to like get off or to get back on the normal road, we see this car that was like beyond the closed gate somehow. I don't know if this car stayed overnight on the parkway or how it got around the gate. You could see that there was still ice on the parkway beyond the gate, and this car just totally slid over it, and it was really scary because I was just like, oh my gosh, first of all, what are you doing beyond the closed gate on the parkway? And second of all, you almost just slid off the road right there.
Yeah.
And it's on like a mountain, right?
Yeah, if you slide off the parkway, you're going down the down like 3,000 feet.
Yeah, it was bizarre because I was just like, what are y'all doing?
I was like, how did they even get back there? Maybe they had someone like get out of the car and move the gate, and then they were like, go. They drove it. And they put
Man.
Then you realize why the parkway is closed at that time, because there's still ice on it,
Right. It's like there's a reason that they put the signs there.
Is it cold up there? Let's get that Boone weather report brought to you by BooneWeather.com.
Hold on, let me open my window. It's feels nice.
Well, it was super cold and well, not super cold, but it was like 50 degrees.
Phil, you just froze.
Yeah, you're frozen.
That looks like Phil is fading out a little bit there. Maybe we'll get him back in, but
that's hilarious. That's a really funny pose to freeze.
He really looks like Prison Mike now.
At this point, seriously. At this point, if you haven't somehow frozen on Zoom for extended amount of time, it's like,
this is the first time it's happened during these live streams. They've been smooth so far ever since we started last week. But hopefully we'll get him back in. Maybe it's a good time to take a break here.
I was just about to say that. I was like, maybe let's go to break, see what
hopefully
happens.
We'll get him back in smoothly. But we'll go ahead and take a break right now and see what we can do. Anyway, this is the morning app right now. Don't go away.
Happy hour meetups? Canceled. In-person socializing? Canceled. Hitting the bars? Canceled. The radio station? On. Stay home, wash your hands. We're all in this together, but 6 feet apart. 90.5 WASU FM, your college, your station, your music.
Hey, it's me. Your cell phone. We need to talk about something. Something serious. I know you love me. I know you like using me wherever you are. But I feel like this isn't working out when you're driving. I know you think it's possible to focus both on me and the road, but I just don't feel the same way. I think we should spend some time away from each other when you're driving. It's for the best.
Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, the Ad Council, and 90.5 WASU.
Roots, rocks, and rivers. The Boone Fork Trail is a strenuous 5-mile loop for the experienced hiker. Hike through meadows and rhododendron tunnels with a variety of flora and fauna. But also expect some mud and erosion. The trail leads to the Boone Fork Falls that rush down over car-sized boulders, located on the Blue Ridge Parkway at milepost 296.4.
OASIS is a local nonprofit organization that provides resources to survivors of sexual and domestic abuse in the Boone area. The free and confidential resources they offer include temporary shelter, support groups, case management, legal and medical advocacy, and more. For more information or to get involved, visit their website at www.oasisinc.org.
On 90.5 WASU and WASUradio.com.
Just like the studio.
Oh, hey Phil, where'd you go?
Sorry. So my internet connection was pretty faulty upstairs, and so I had to transition to my room. So
nice.
Yeah, I apologize for that, y'all.
All good. I tried to take a picture of your frozen face, but I was too slow.
Was it funny?
Yeah, it was good.
It was funny.
I'll go back on Facebook and get it. Oh yeah.
This is my favorite.
Oh yeah. That's amazing.
See,
man, it looks like you're just right in the studio.
I've never figured out the virtual backgrounds. I try it every time. I'll show you guys. And every time I just disappear. I don't know. So look. I don't know why this is. Like, I'm gone.
What
gone.
The heck?
Gone. Gone.
Oh my god.
Every virtual background that I've tried is just the same thing.
Whatever.
Wait, that's so weird.
Yeah, it's technically like a green screen, right?
Yeah, I think, but it
might be because the
wall is white. Maybe
like
that's
the wall is kind of white and I'm white. Yeah.
Honestly, that could very much be it.
That very well could be. Yeah, I haven't even tried to find the virtual backgrounds.
It's next to
So I
stop.
just
You click the arrow next to stop video to the right of stop video, and then choose virtual background.
Lexi doesn't even have that option, so
Really?
Lexi can't do them. Yeah.
That's all right. I don't
It'd
want.
be cool if you were eating bananas right now, as well.
I know, right? Wait, hold on.
That like, yeah, for some reason it kept that little space in the middle.
I actually do have banana.
Speaking of bananas, Scott, have you made any banana bread?
Just one loaf during this quarantine.
Scott makes really good banana bread, Kiera.
Okay, I was wondering. I was like, that was random.
Yeah, I haven't baked much or cooked much being home.
I love banana bread. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, so good.
I think
banana bread is so good.
All growing up, eating banana bread was decent for me. It was never something I got super excited about unless it had chocolate chips in it.
Oh yeah.
Banana bread without chocolate chips was just like, that was so like, why are there not chocolate chips in this? But as I've gotten older and started to make it a little bit, I don't put chocolate chips in.
Do you think it's better now without the chocolate chips, or do you
I don't
just
know.
think it?
I mean, if I put chocolate chips in, I'd be like, dang, this is better. I have a newfound appreciation for it without chocolate chips.
The simple banana bread.
I feel that. That makes sense.
Yeah.
My mom used to get me there's this like cafe in Raleigh, Cafe Carolina, Scott, that has like these Rice Krispie treats that are enormous, and they have like little mini M&Ms in them.
Ooh.
And they were so good. So like whenever that would be like a treat that my mom would bring me after school if she got lunch there or whatever. And for a while it was like, I'm not going to eat a Rice Krispie treat without M&Ms in it. There's just no, it was the same thing. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of Rice Krispie treats now, with M&Ms or without.
I would say that that's true for me with trail mix. If trail mix doesn't have M&Ms or chocolate chips, like why bother? You know?
Agreed. At that point, it's just nuts.
Seriously.
Raisins make it sweet.
Oh yeah, and raisins.
What's the best trail? What's your go-to, or what would be the ideal trail mix combo for you guys?
Ooh, that's good. That's a good question. I would say there definitely has to be M&Ms in it for sure. I'm not getting. Yeah, I'm not. Well, the other thing is it depends on how you define trail mix. We might have had this conversation on the morning app before, actually.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But or maybe, yeah, I don't know where it was, but I've had this conversation before, like what you consider trail mix, because you know, like that section in the market, like in the markets on campus, that's just like, it's just one kind of section that's like all trail mix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like the candy, and then there's nuts, and then there's the trail mix.
Yeah. And they're all kind of mixed together. And so, do y'all know that like spicy, like mix of things, like it has nuts in it, like it has peanuts, it has like
it's like the Munchies bag.
What'd you say, Scott?
Are you talking about the Munchies bag?
No.
Oh yeah.
It's not like a chip. That's like a chip brand, right?
Yeah.
Or chip. Yeah, it's not that, but it's like in a trail mix pack. But it's just,
I think
like,
I know what you're talking about, but I cannot like picture the label right now. But I know what you're talking. It's just like spicy.
Yeah, it's just a type of trail mix. I wouldn't really call it trail mix, but it's it's like a mix of different things. Like it has sesame sticks in it, peanuts, like other things. I don't really know what
Yeah.
but like I wouldn't consider that trail mix. I feel like it has to have like nuts and raisins for it to be trail mix.
Yeah.
Or some
would
sort of
say-
I agree.
For my definition, I think what should define trail mix for me, because I mean, ultimately, trail mix is very vague. Like it's a mix for the trail.
For the trail.
So, in my personal opinion, I think half the elements of trail mix must be crunchy for it to be considered trail mix.
Okay. Half
So,
the elements have to be crunchy.
yes, for example,
but not
Okay.
all.
but not all. So, like chocolate chips and M&Ms aren't crunchy.
I think
Yeah.
M&Ms are crunchy, aren't they? I would.
M&Ms are.
Ooh, okay. This is what we need. This is what we need. Okay, so like raisins are not crunchy.
Right.
So this is what I would say in my opinion. I would have peanuts in there, cashews, and pretzels for my 3 crunchy items.
Ooh, pretzels. Good move. That's a good move.
Then I have up to 3 non-crunchy items that are available for my rule that I just M&Ms. I would then put M&Ms, raisins, and popcorn.
Popcorn. Okay.
To be fair, popcorn, I'm all for that being in the mix, but popcorn is crunchy, bro.
That's
I think that's valid. That's valid.
popcorn is crunchy. Oh my god.
Like the background of Kiera's screen, that is the only trail mix. Anything else is deviating from it.
Right.
My issue though is almonds. I'm not a big almond guy.
Same. I agree with that. Except I love almond joys.
Interesting.
I don't know if I've had one of those.
Almond joys have like coconut in them too, right?
Yeah, it's like I love the candy, but it's easily the worst made candy in the world because it's just a slab of coconut, and then they just place an almond on top and cover it in chocolate. It's like so stupid. This is a coconut joy, not an almond joy.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've had an almond joy. Maybe never.
Yeah.
Wow. I never just go to the store and buy almond joy.
Yeah. Yeah. What are there other things you guys would want to include in your trail mix that we don't see in Kiera's background?
I'd honestly say that's a pretty good selection, except I'm with you, Scott. I would probably add pretzels and take away almonds.
Mm-hmm.
So what form of pretzel? Would it be like a traditional pretzel loop or whatever you call it, a pretzel twist, or
I would do the traditional pretzel loop.
That's a big old bite. If you're grabbing like a handful and you get a couple big pretzels, like that's gonna overtake a lot of your bite.
How big are your traditional pretzels? Mine are about the size of a cashew. I'm doing mini pretzels.
Mini pretzels. Yeah. Or like those little pretzel sticks.
Yeah, those could be good too.
Yeah.
You guys want to hear what the dictionary definition of trail mix is?
Yeah.
It says trail mix or scroggin. Guess that's another name for it. Is a type of snack mix, typically a combination of granola, dried fruit, nuts, and sometimes chocolate, developed as a food to be taken along on hikes.
On a trail, yeah. I was gonna say, like, if you're just going by the definition, then it's any mixture of foods into like a bag that you take on a hike.
Right.
But I think the point of trail mix, going back to the origins of the word, you want something that is going to give you energy because you're on a hike, and then something that's also going to like fill you up to an extent, like have a little bit of protein. So if you have like raisins, which are sugar, and also add in like the other sweet aspect of chocolate or M&Ms or whatever, then you pair that with the like protein and fat that nuts give you. That's why it's trail mix, because it's giving you like energy but also sustaining you to an extent for the hike. But I would say the components of trail mix have to be like sweet and salty.
Yeah.
So I'm down for the pretzels being thrown in there too. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Very much agree.
I have had trail mix very few times in my life to have significant opinions about it. But
yeah, it's like
I like the concept.
Maybe in a sandwich, like it's hard to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, I will say, when I played volleyball, like majority of my life, and when I would like travel, all I would pack is trail mix.
Yeah.
I would eat.
Yeah.
I don't even like it like that. Like I don't even like it that much. But it's all I ate for like 6 years.
If you pack trail mix, if you're going somewhere and you pack trail mix, you're immediately feeling good about where you're going or what you're doing.
Yeah,
your parents like, do you have a snack? And like, yeah, I got trail mix.
Yeah, it's like they're like, okay, that's good. You should.
Yeah. It's like every team we would play against, I'm like, it's okay, guys. They didn't pack trail mix.
Seriously.
You're not gonna win.
So our friend, Scott and I have a friend, Samuel, who just texted and he's tuned in, and he said a good trail mix needs Gorp, good old raisins and peanuts. Which I think is a good rule. It's gotta have raisins and peanuts.
Good old raisins and peanuts. Oh man.
Yeah, all I know is trail mix doesn't mean anything to me, but scroggin does.
Scroggin. That's what I'm gonna call it now.
Does it have an S on the end? Is it scroggin or scroggins?
It's a it's SCROGGIN. Scroggin.
So interesting.
I'm gonna look up Scroggin and see what comes up. Scroggin. Oh, yep.
Trail mix.
I looked up Scroggin and okay, well you can't see. It just says trail mix.
Yeah.
Scroggin.
Make that. What if you have multiple scroggins? How does that work? Is there a plural option?
That's a good question. Well, they have Scroggin biscuits. So you could have multiple Scroggin biscuits. I think Scroggin is like cereal. You know what I mean? Like you don't refer to them as cereals, like as individual pieces of cereal. You just refer to the group as cereal. So I think Scroggin
is a
plural term. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Scroggin is the origin is New Zealand / Australia.
Oh.
To me, it sounded like Scottish. Maybe that's because of the SC starting.
Yeah. Scroggin.
Wait, what was that? What was that Scottish accent again, Kiera? Just kidding. I'm not.
Scroggin. It sounds like Never mind. I don't think it sounds like anything.
So there's this website called acx.com. Have you guys heard of it?
Like just the letters ACX?
Yeah. So on the Audible app where you Audible books through the app. So this website allows people, anyone really, to sign up for free as a narrator and apply / audition to read books for Audible. So I've been doing that the past week or two. I created my account and I just go through and see what books need narrators, which thousands of books need narrators and they need people to they need these narrators so that their book can be accessible on Audible. So it's like a win-win for everybody. And people are submitting their samples of their voice for the book. There's a script that they have, like whether it's the introduction or something, and you read it. And so I've auditioned for 4 books now. Rejected on every book.
You've been rejected?
Yes, rejected.
What do they say to you, Scott? What do they say to you in their rejection?
So I get an email, which I've gotten now 4 times, that says, as I'm pulling it up, so the point I was going to make is that one of the books that I was wanting to do, because what's hard, I've chosen 4 books that don't require changes in voice or doing different characters.
Yeah.
That's really hard.
Yeah.
And so I've just, tried to do my own voice for these, like one book was about JFK history. So I could just, try to be serious and do my voice. And so the subject of the email I get is regarding your ACX audition. Hello. Thank you for auditioning for How to Improve Communication, Understanding the Opposite Sex. I auditioned for this book. I auditioned for this book. Literally, it's like, the title explains it all. How to improve communication, understanding the opposite sex. The next line, unfortunately, you are not chosen to produce this book, but there are still plenty of audiobooks looking for the right producer. So I've gotten that 4 times now. And I really thought I was going to get one of them because my friend, Kiera, do you know Anna Muckenfuss? She works for App TV.
Yeah. We had a class.
She told me about this, and she was actually telling me and Phil, because we're in a little group project together for our class, and she got a book, and like within an hour, the author replied and was like, "Hey, I'd love for you to read this book," and so she's doing it. And
do you get paid?
Yeah. So it's, some of the books are by royalty, like you get royalties based on sales. Some of them are like $50 per hour that you record.
And that's a lot. Like if you're reading like a 300-page, 400-page.
Yeah.
Well, I
would just read really slow.
$50 is the minimum too. So like a lot of people sometimes they'll ask you for your rate, which, I haven't had that opportunity because I've been rejected every time.
I work $100 an hour.
Seriously, a lot of people do. Well, it's the low range is $50 to $100 per recorded hour, but a lot of them is like $100 to $200 per recorded hour. Because if you think about it, though, that's a tough hour.
I guess that's true. Just reading for an hour.
Well, if you do it and do it well, and your voice fits for the book, so that hopefully you don't have to try too hard. You just make reading and making sure you don't screw up too much. So yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna keep auditioning. I've kind of just gotten my hopes down. Tough, hey, rejection in any form is just tough.
Dude, we should do, probably you can audition for, could you do like multiple voices for a book? Like,
what do you mean? Oh yeah, like us audition together. So like you would be a character and I'd be a character type thing. Yeah, I think like that could work.
That would be amazing.
Have to submit it. Like we could. I've got some time today, so I might look and see what other books need.
I was about to say, I'm about to go on this website now.
I'll share it with you. But yeah, it was that when one of the books I tried was like, all right, there's 2 female characters and a male character, and one of the female characters has like a strong Irish accent, and I was like, all right, how am I going to be able to do a strong female Irish accent. And I was like, I think I'm gonna try a different one, even though it would be so fun, you know. And so I'm like reading through the script, is like, can I do this? Can I do this? And I'm just like, no, I can't do it. It's so hard. Like I have a whole new respect for voice actors, you know.
Yeah, no, seriously. So tell you when you sign, like when you go to look at the books, does it tell you how many characters are in the book before you know, like how do you?
There's a summary of the book and maybe a note from the author of what it wants in the voice. And that in that moment, in that point, they'll tell you like, yeah, so there's 3 characters and this is what they want for each voice. And yeah, and then especially when you click on, there'll be an audition script that you record yourself doing and then submit. And a lot of times in that script, like you'll understand what what this is going to entail. So
the book that Anna was doing was like a country, like cowboy romance novel.
Yeah.
So I think she was having to read in like a Southern accent or something, maybe.
Oh my God.
She kind of already has a little bit of a Southern twang in her voice.
Yeah.
And so the author, when she submitted her audition, the author's like, your voice is perfect for this. So you just kind of have to find, I guess, a fit that it just works with your voice.
Yeah.
But the other thing that's funny too is when you submit your audio sample, you can write a note, And so I was talking with my family about at this point I was 0 for 2 rejections. I auditioned for 2 more, and they were just saying like, you should, if it's close in terms of whose voice, like, all right, we've got a few voices that could work based on these auditions. Like if it's close, they're going to want to choose the one who's just really passionate about this topic. And so in the note section, I was like, for the understanding communication of the opposite sex book, I typed in like, I'm really passionate about this topic. And it would mean a lot for me to voice this. Hoping that would push me over the mark, but it didn't. I'm just really curious. I would love to see the producers, the author, like listen to my audio sample and just see their reaction to see if they're like cutting it off after 15 seconds or what.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's fun. I haven't checked it out yet, but I might check it out. I don't like the thing about the accents is I feel like only the rare occasion can I pull off like an accent. Like just I can't consistently do an accent.
Yeah, me neither.
Having to do an accent for an entire thing like would be tough. But I bet those are like the ones that like if you could really do Irish accent, like you'd be in great shape to get one of those just because.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the books tell you what type of voice, like what type of accent they're looking for, whether that's like American, Boston, and it's just very specific. Some of them are like British, they're looking for a British.
Yeah.
Like, all right, I'm not applying for that. Do you guys want to hear the first like 10 seconds of my audition?
Yes, please.
How to improve communication under sex. Emmanuel Jenkins. Forward. This book is dedicated to the Christians who have issues dealing with the opposite sex. Start by thanking God for allowing me to.
Man,
I thought I was gonna do it.
Yeah, that sounded
Honestly,
great.
it sounded pretty good.
Thanks.
I
I shouldn't give up.
It would be really goofy if like just this were not part of your contract, but like in the middle of the book or in the middle of some passages that you were reading, you just like give a little insert your experience with whatever you're talking about.
You try to slip it in.
You just add your own stuff.
You get in a rhythm, so it's like, yeah, I submit a chapter at a time, and the author's like, okay, great. And so they just stop kind of listening to it, expecting that it's good. And I'm just like, I'm gonna pause. Hey guys, so I'm Scott, the voice, and I just want to interject right here.
Oh my god!
For a second.
That would be so funny.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
Yeah, starting it out with like, hey guys, I'm Scott. I'm Scott. I'm the voice actor for this book, and I'm really glad you're tuned in. Your contribution is making me money, so I appreciate it.
Oh my god, that's funny. Okay, well, it's already 11:52.
I know.
I had no idea that was going to happen so quick. So, Andrew, should we take one last short break? We only had one, or should we just keep going?
We can take one short break and then I'll come back.
All right, sounds good. And then we'll close out the show.
All right. Well, this is the morning app. We will be right back in a little bit.
Sweet.
Happy hour meetups? Canceled. In-person socializing? Canceled. Hitting the bars? Canceled. The radio station? On. Stay home, wash your hands. We're all in this together, but 6 feet apart. 90.5 WASU FM, your college, your station, your music.
Hey, it's me. Your cell phone. We need to talk about something. Something serious. I know you love me. I know you like using me wherever you are. But I feel like this isn't working out when you're driving. I know you think it's possible to focus both on me and the road, but I just don't feel the same way. I think we should spend some time away from each other when you're driving. It's for the best.
Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, the Ad Council, and 90.5 WASU.
Hey everyone, Andrew here from App TV. Hope you're enjoying today's morning app live stream. Be sure to leave us a like on Facebook. That's facebook.com/watchapptv or facebook.com/themorningapp. You can also leave us a like on YouTube. Doing so for any of our content is greatly appreciated. App TV is fast approaching the premiere of its first ever movie, Where You Should Be. Where You Should Be is a completely student-produced, directed, and edited ensemble film that follows a group of broadcasting students as they try to deal with the stress of graduation and uncertainty. App TV's Where You Should Be will premiere on April 30th. More details to come.
on 90.5 WASU and WASUradio.com.
All right, we are back.
Nice.
Welcome back. What are we gonna
Narration there over the
4 minutes we have?
So I saw somewhere that there's like, oh no, there was a somebody talking to communication students yesterday as part of a day of having guests talking to comm students yesterday, and one of them said that they at some channel they had just extended their morning shows by an hour. So whoever was doing their morning talk shows were just doing it for an hour longer than they used to, just because.
Yeah, wait, I know exactly what wait, were we on the same Zoom call yesterday and not?
Probably.
I think
no. It was our staff meeting.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was WASU.
that's what it was. I was like, well, I also heard that recently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dan, I think Dan brought that up.
Not saying that we're gonna do it, but
No. I think if I did a better job of planning, if we all planned better, maybe 2 hours could be feasible. But
Today's show went by quick though. I feel like
it really did.
Good topics, good fly by the seat of our pants topics.
Yeah. I've been looking at more books that need narrators, and didn't find anyone that was appealing to me.
If I find one that I feel like would really fit you, I'll send it your way.
Perfect. That'd be great. Yeah, it's tough because it's the books that need narrators generally aren't going to be like New York Times bestsellers, because either the author will read that, or I'm not going to be in the running for that. So it's like, it's all, you're kind of trying to find the under the radar, just books that are not super popular, but
yeah, like cowboy romance novels.
Yeah, exactly.
Cowboy romance.
Yeah, Anna said that book was just like not good at all.
Yikes.
But like, who knows if something is like a brand new book and then somehow it takes off, like you're gonna, and especially if you're making royalties off that, then like that'd be huge.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And is making 50% royalties, which I don't actually have no idea really what that means. But,
50% like of just the audio book though, right? Not like the whole.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, seriously. It's crazy.
What do y'all have going on today? Y'all have schoolwork to do?
Yes. For me, it's Friday, meaning 2 out of my 4 classes have all of its work due today. So,
yeah,
as tradition goes, I will be doing that work today.
Yeah.
Hopefully getting it done.
I was watching New Girl last night, and
love that show.
There's a point where Nick said that he waits to do all of his work on the due date because it's called the due date. Like the DO. Yeah.
Due date.
Yeah, I feel like it's really relatable.
That's so funny. Amazing. All right, well, it's 12 o'clock.
It is the afternoon now. Morning app is now officially over. Okay, well, Scott and Phil, thank you guys for coming on for today's live stream. It's great to see some familiar faces again. For updates on the next morning app live stream, visit facebook.com/themorningapp. Thank you for tuning in today. We'll be back again next week, and have a good weekend. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Woo!
Peace.
Bye, guys.